guess just for me, I was born in Johannesburg. I am a very proud South African. I think it's an honor and privilege to be in this country at the moment, particularly because I was born and grew up under the apartheid era. And for me, it's been quite extraordinary being part of the building, and watching progress, watching opportunity, and watching particularly women move up and be strong. I found myself at age 47, not having worked for 17 years, recently divorced and having to find a means to support myself. I had been contracted by the Department of Arts and Culture to organize a launch for a big body of research that they'd done, the cultural industry's growth strategy. And that covered film, television, publishing, and music. And and craft. I needed to do an exhibition to showcase that at the launch. And that is how my journey into the craft sector began. I've always been crazy about creativity, creative people. I believe that the arts unite people. Some of my greatest learnings was when I was working in the dance arena with Free Flight Dance Company, Pack Dance Company, people like Boise Trekwana, who was an incredible teacher for me and helped me see his world and my world, and the two were very different worlds, and it was to create that common understanding. As a result of the launch, I was then inspired to work with an organization that was looking at marketing crafts globally, and left them because I was not crazy about the values on which the organization was run. So decided to go out on my own. I set up for 3 months what was going to be a Christmas shop, an African Christmas shop. When I was given the opportunity, I cleared all the money out of my bond, got into my car, drove down to KZN, came back with baskets and beads and all sorts of exciting things, put it into the space, and then went, whoa, I have no clue what I'm doing. But I'd committed, I'd agreed, and I just had to make sense of it. So that was how my journey into the craft sector began. I think that right now women are stepping up and stepping out. I think particularly it's, for me, significant in South Africa because I think the younger generation has had the opportunity of education, and that opens a world to them. And I think the big battle, in inverted commas, now is to be able to be seen and recognized for the value and the worth they bring. I think, there were days of feminism where women were trying to be like men, equal to men. And I don't think that it is, for me, a matter of being equal. I think men have very specific strengths and women have specific strengths. And I think they balance one another really beautifully. And for me, I think a modern day warrior woman is somebody who actually has a dream or has a goal and will work relentlessly and tirelessly to get there, not at the expense of anybody else, but just through firm focus, resolve, and action. I must say, to be honest, when the request came to me, and the question was warrior woman, I smiled a bit because I thought, no, warrior woman doesn't sound right to me. But then what came strongly to my mind was that one of the groups that I work with in Msinga, really incredible woman, they always used to call me the warrior queen.
Oh.
So I thought about that and it kind of made me think why. And I think what it is that I feel really strongly that I've had privilege, I have connections, I have visibility, and I have a voice. And there are many people that do not have a voice. And I will use my voice to be the voice for those that have no voice. So I guess if that's what you call a warrior, then I am a warrior. I think my biggest and most important battle has been here. It's been my battle with myself, my battle with the programming that I grew up with, my battle with how I tell myself you can't or you can, or and honestly, I think sometimes, it's the mind. The mind for me is a huge enemy, potentially a huge enemy. And it's just that thing about believing. If I believe strongly enough, it doesn't matter what my mind tells me, I will focus and I'll get it done. But I think my biggest battle ever has been with my mind and keeping focus, keeping balance, and not letting the ego get into place. And also just owning, I think as women, others see our strengths more easily than we see them.
Yes.
And when people give you a compliment or recognize that strength, we tend to just brush it away. And I think it is that thing about accepting, being grateful, and owning, because that is how you fuel yourself going forward. We tend to believe the negative things or the weak things or our fears get the most of us, and then you're completely disempowered. I think it is to be very clear on what what drives you, where are you not negotiable, what inspires you, what would you fight for, and just keep focused on that and blur out the noise that is happening around you. And I think women also are canny. Women are smart. You don't have to be strong to win a battle. You've got to be smart to win a battle. And I really think that women, if we give ourselves time to work out, how am I going to get around this? How am I going to make it? When we were in Swaziland, it was fascinating. We were working with grass weavers, and there traditionally the chief will declare the grass cutting season open, and he will declare it closed. Nothing can happen. You can't cut grass unless you're within that season. And because of climate change, the season shifted, but they didn't shift. And we then needed to go and negotiate with the chiefs because there was shortage of grass. And it was how to negotiate with them so that they could see that by shifting it would make them look good to the people that they were working with. So again, it's how do you do it? You can't go and tell him.
Yes.
You can go to them with a problem. You can say, this is the problem. This is why the problem.
Yes.
How do you think we can solve it? They then come up with a solution, which is exactly what you wanted them to do anyway.
Yes.
And it's a win-win for everybody. Men will go in and say, this is what you have to do, which immediately for me puts up battle. You tell me what to do, hell, I won't do it. But let's discuss this. And women operate from from that perspective. I think for me, it's about women having their voice. Number one, women need to own their voice. Women need to understand that their opinion or their insight is valuable. Women need to understand that they don't have to just accept anything. They don't have to accept second best.
Yes.
And it's okay to say no. It's okay. It's okay to say, I'm sorry, I do not agree with that. I'm sorry, this is actually really what this means to me. And I think for me, it's really important that women use their voice, but again, not in an aggressive way. It's to state it, to be firm. And if you feel firm from inside and you connect that to your voice, people can hear you're not negotiable. It's not about to please others. It's about pleasing what's driving you. One thing that for me is kind of very clear is what is the reason for doing what you're doing? And it needs to be something that you feel strongly about. Because if you feel strongly about it, you can be focused and you will keep going.
Yeah.
If it's something somebody else is asking you to do that you do not believe in or you're not comfortable with, it makes it much harder. So again, it's what is important to you, what is driving you, what do you want to achieve, and to just keep going, keep focused. The other thing is also to encourage yourself, because sometimes it's really difficult.
Yes.
And I am a very firm believer, darkness cannot exist in the presence of light. So it does not matter how dark the circumstances are, know that there is light there. And it's to find that light, because once you've found the light, the darkness will disappear. And within everything that happens to us is a gift. And sometimes it might not feel as if the gift when you're in that place of squeeze. But if you can ask yourself, what is the gift in this for me? And you can get that gift, you're immediately transformed and you can move on. Nooks, there are so many of them. There are so many of them. I mean, Maya Angelou comes to me because what she does with words is incredible. And she was strong. She was feisty. She knew who she was. And she inspired many and strength in others. Yes. I look at other people. I look at an incredible woman who worked with me at Peace, Beauty Maswangani. She came from Bushbuckridge. She single-handedly raised 3 incredible children. She lives in Diepsloot. She's part of a community. She's a leader in the community. And beauty for me shows a strength and a courage that just always used to blow me away. And the one thing about many, if I think of women who inspire me, none of them feel sorry for themselves.
Oh, wow.
None of them are very happy to say, this is where I am for now. This is where I want to be. I know I can get there. And they find the courage within themselves to get there. I think it's just the rebel in me, and I'm now a modern warrior woman.
Yes,
because I have replaced the word rebel with disruptor.
Aha!
So I'm a disruptor. So if you tell me no, I'm going to okay, that door's closed. But there has to be another way to get around and into this. So again, it's just not taking no for an answer. And again, I think for me what is really important is looking at where that no comes from. Because sometimes the no comes from somebody who doesn't know or who is trying power games or whatever. I will then discount that no. If the no comes from somebody that I really respect, I will reflect on that no very deeply. My intention is just for people to be, I have a gift, and it's a God-given gift to see potential. And for me, my intention always is to get wherever that potential is, how can I get that potential to become a full bloom possibility?